Welcome everyone! In this video, we're going to go through a quick demo of how interior designs are created from styled manuscripts. This is meant as a general overview for production editors working with styled manuscripts, so we can get a better idea of what happens to the Word file after we send it to design. It's not meant to be a comprehensive training for designers. For that, start with the instructions at this link. Okay, let's get started with the demo. Here is our styled Word document. As you can see, paragraph styles have been applied throughout and character styles are used for text level formatting. I've left in some direct formatting here just to demonstrate what happens to it during the design process, but normally all this would have been removed from the Word document by the cleanup macro. Now we just save our document and send it to the designer. Note that the designer probably never opens the file in Word, so none of our formatting will be visible to them. We're only going to import the text and the styles assigned to it. First, the designer sets up their page. I already have a layout ready here with margins, folios, and running heads in place. The running heads are blank now, but when we import the Word file, you'll see that those can be pulled from the styled text. Before we even import the manuscript though, you can see that InDesign has styles too, just like Word. If we open up the paragraph styles pane, you can see that the designer's template already has all of the same style names that the Word template does. Now all we have to do is go to Place and select our manuscript file. And if we check this box here that says Show Import Options, we'll be able to have more control over what happens when we import the text. This is the Show Import Options box. The default is to remove styles and formatting, but if we check this radio button, we can preserve the styles that we applied to the Word file. InDesign can also preserve any manual page breaks that were inserted into the Word file, which is why it's so important to insert those breaks between sections in the manuscript. These radio buttons tell InDesign what to do with the styles it imports. Style name conflicts are when the style names in the Word document you're importing are exactly the same as the style names in the InDesign file. But that's precisely what we want here, so these style name conflicts are a good thing. This drop-down menu here tells InDesign to use its own formatting settings, not the Word formatting settings, for any matching style names. Now we just place the text on the page, and it flows through to however many pages we need. It doesn't look great right now, but we'll fix that in a minute. First, let's see what we have. Even though these paragraphs all look the same, if we open the paragraph styles, we can see that the styles we applied in the Word document are still here, even though the formatting is not. In fact, any extra formatting that may have been imported from Word, which are called overrides in InDesign, will be cleared out by the designer so they have a clean slate to work with. Any formatting that you see in the Word document is just to help the people working with the manuscript. It has no effect on how the final design will look. This includes any direct formatting, such as the bold here. That's why all required formatting, like italics and bold, needs to be tagged as character styles, like this section. All paragraph styles and character styles remain in the document even after overrides are cleared, like this. We'll quickly remove the running heads from the chapter opening page, and here you'll notice that the running heads on the rest of the pages now automatically match the author name and chapter title. This is because InDesign can pull the running head text from whatever text has the chapter title style applied to it. See, if we change the name of the chapter title, the running heads automatically change. You could also do the book or part title, as long as those elements are styled correctly. Anyway, as I showed you earlier, InDesign uses styles in a way that's very similar to Word, but it doesn't have the option to view just the styles in use. So instead we'll go here and select Unused Styles and move them to this folder marked Unused. Now we're just looking at the styles in use, and the rest of the styles are still here in case a new style is introduced later. All we have to do now to design the book is to go through and set the formatting for each of these styles, and it will automatically be applied to all the text with those styles. Let's start with the chapter number. If we double-click on the style name, the Paragraph Styles Options box opens. From each of these settings on the left, we can control any aspect of the style's formatting. So, for example, we can change the typeface, font size, and set it in small caps. And from this other section, we can set the alignment to centered. Once we're done, we can click OK, and we can see that the formatting of the chapter number paragraph has changed. We can do the same with the chapter title, change the typeface, make the font size bigger, center it, and add some space before the paragraph to separate it from the chapter number. Next, we'll tackle the text standard style. We'll change the font and size, and now you can see that this changed the formatting of all the paragraphs that were tagged with the text standard style. But what happened here? See, this paragraph isn't text standard, it's chapter opening text no indent. We'll need to define this style too, as well as any other styles that make up the body text, like text standard no indent or text standard space above. That might be a little tedious, right? Luckily, there is a way to pick up everything we've already changed for text standard. All we have to do is once again open the paragraph options window, but now our first step is to change the based on setting. From here we can choose text standard, and our current style picks up all the formatting features of that style. This links the two styles together. Now all we have to do is change whatever settings we want to be different from the other style. So we'll go in and add some space before, remove the first line indent, and add a drop cap. Now, if we want to change some formatting later, all we have to do is change the text standard style definition, and that will update not only all the paragraphs tagged as text standard, but also any linked styles as well. So we can see how this way of working can really speed up the time it takes to typeset the whole book. If we were to continue defining styles this way, we'd end up with something like this. If I scroll through, you can see that all the different styles have been formatted. We still need to do the paging, fix widows and orphans, that kind of thing, but the general idea is there. And here we can see another benefit of using styles. Let's say that you have a book designed this way, and at the last minute someone decides to change part of the design. For example, here we have all the letters set in italics, but maybe instead we want them to be set in a different typeface. We don't have to worry about finding each instance in the book, because we already tagged the paragraphs with styles, and the designer can link similar styles together. So all we have to do is go to the letter extract body text style and change the typeface. This updates all the linked styles of every paragraph tagged with letter styles. So in one step, we've changed everything in the whole book linked to this style. You may be thinking that this is great for the design dupe phase, but it's also helpful for flowing in the final text. This is because the styles and style definitions stay with the file even if the original text is removed. So we could go in and delete all the dupe text after we've designed it, and replace that with the final copy edited text. As long as the style names are the same, they'll pick up the style definitions that are already in the InDesign file. The compositor just has to adjust individual pages for things like widows and orphans, but they don't have to go through and format every element. That work was already done when we styled the paragraphs in Word. And that's what happens to styled manuscript files when they go to design. For more information on styling Word documents, see the other videos in this series.